If you're a small business owner like me and you need a little bit of help with organizing your time and everything that you do as a small business owner, then check out this video because I have some really good tips for you as a beginner, generally even a beginner artist or a small business owner or a beginner Notion user. It's going to be like really beginner friendly. Everything is going to be so straightforward and simple. I'm going to show you some tutorials on like the pages that you can make, but also give you general tutorial on how to start a Notion. And without further ado, let's just get into the video. I also wanted to give you a little quick note is that this video is not like a whole tutorial on Notion. I'm kind of for this video assuming that you know a little bit about the Notion, for example, how to create the account, how to basically, I don't know, like use really simple steps. But if you want me to go like really in depth about Notion itself, then I'm definitely going to do that video as well. But for now, I'm just kind of knowing that you know really basic stuff, and I'm going from there to show you actually how to upgrade that. First tip for you is actually very obvious, but many people like just skip that step and they don't actually follow it, and then they end up just being stressed out over the Notion itself. And that tip is actually to start really simple. For example, me, I just first started out with Notion really simple. It was basically so simple that I even used it like as a to-do list or like notes app on the iPhone. And I really started simple. I started small, and then I kind of just check out all the other additional stuff that you can actually do there, and then I'm upgrading over the time, and I'm not still finished like learning and knowing Notion really. But for now, like for my purposes right now, I'm satisfied with like my really simple setup. So I am like advising you to just start simple. It's important to just start, make it practical and for yourself and not for like other people, so that it can be aesthetic. Of course that the aesthetics are really important, but this is not like the most important step. We want it to be useful, we want it to be personal, and we just want to actually let it help us and not just be stressed out also with like all of the other stresses that we have as small business owners, and then stress out over Notion is just doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you over the Notion. I'm going to screen record and I'm going to show you how to start making like simple pages, simple tables and stuff like that. So as you can see, this is like the first thing that you see on my Notion. And it is a little dashboard page that I created, and it is like basically the first page that I need every time I open up my Notion. And here it's actually a really nice trick that you can have favorites here. You just click on this little star and then it's going to show you your favorite boards here. That's very useful and quick. But anyways, yeah, this is my like dashboard, which is having basically all the maps and shortcuts right here. And I'm not going to show you like every single one in depth. That's going to be for another video. But for now, what is really important that you see how simple it is. I have like one photo here, like the whole cover page here, the little icon, a little quote that is really motivating me, cute font, okay, but like really simple. And then up here I have like my navigation, which is actually helping me to get through all of those boards. And then I have just also in the boards, I just have really simple setups, but they can actually be like quite useful for me. As you can see, this is a daily page, but I'm going to show you that later. And anyways, the way you can basically create this and any other thing is to actually just go here and maybe add this plus, or even the other way is to just put the narrow line here and then basically have all of those stuff, and then you write down page, and that is going to guide you to like a new page. And this can be, I don't know, monthly calendar, and basically from there you can just then start adding tables or a calendar, stuff like that. So basically very simple. We are starting off like this, and this is the way that I'm doing right now. I do everything, every little thing, and then it's all organized. It's just all so easy to navigate through. and you want it to be easy because that's going to help you be productive. The second tip would basically be to create, like, you're a content creator, you're like a small business owner, and you need to like have a plan of what you're going to do each day or each week maybe, or each month basically. Or maybe you can even have like a 6 months kind of period, whatever you prefer, but you need to have something like structured that you can actually be accountable for that and that you can stick to, and make it of course personal. And that's why I love to create some kind of monthly setups or even daily setups, and I'm going to show you the way I created this, but there is also like tons of ways you experiment. I'm just going to show you my way. It's very simple and you can recreate it maybe and then use it for yourself in the beginning. And definitely what I like to do, especially as a small business owner who has a lot of dreams and a lot of goals and of course cannot fulfill all of them at once, I love to create like a monthly goals page, or even incorporate the monthly goals into my like daily planners, stuff like that. I'm going to show you. And that monthly goal is basically also keeping me accountable, and it is basically just showing me what I want to focus on that month, and that is just giving you a vision of how your like week or month is, what you're focusing on. So let's actually check that out. So I was talking about like my monthly and daily setups, and let's check out this like planner that I created for August. This is like obviously like a monthly planner, but it is separated into the days. And as you can see, I wrote down goals for this week. And for that week, it was to paint a lot, to start my presentation. This is actually an old setup because I was still in college, and generally make a list of goals. That was also a goal. And anyways, so for each day, I actually put like a little table which said the time and then what I would be doing during that time. Even for June, it's a bit better because I was trying more for that. So as you can see, for example, practice drawing was like the goal, and then I had everything like from basically 9 to 8, everything was in detail. And this is actually like very, very simple to do. For example, if you like want that, you can generally make a text like just write something, whatever, and then you can turn that into an equation, and then it's giving you this beautiful like different kind of text. And then you can play around with the colors and then like add a blue background maybe, and then you have this like weekly goal. And then you can also turn this into, for example, into code. Then you would get this kind of aesthetic. It doesn't really matter, you just play around with it. It's really simple. Or you can add like headings so that you can have nice and big titles. For example, week 1. And then for the table, you just press this again and add a table, how many rows you even want, how many you need. So you basically also have those like tables, table view. And this is basically what I created here. As you can see, I just added different colors and that was it. So it's really, really simple. It actually keeps you accountable. What I would also really love to talk about for you to have on your Notion is really important as a small business owner. Actually have one page just separated for keeping like expenses list and also wish list. So I'm going to explain what that would be, and I'm going to give you an example of how I do this. Basically, an expenses list would imply all of your expenses that you not just have like as a small business owner, but would be having as a small business owner if your like little shop actually started having sales. And my small business for now is like, it's not going anywhere really, but I love to keep like the expenses stuff, just a page, just to know what expenses, like what I'm spending my money on. And later on that is going to be important because you're gonna want to like have a profit that's going to be, of course, bigger than those expenses. And then it's really important to know like what you're spending on and how much are you actually spending, so that you can know how much money you actually have to earn in order to surpass that kind of expense. I hope that this makes sense, of course. And then for example, you can have like a little like table view, or maybe just generally a list, simple list. Again, you just put this little like line, and then you press like basically list, and it's going to give you a list view. And every time you buy something for your small business, and especially like a product or maybe a supply that you really love, then you just type down like what it is, maybe add a link to it, and write down how much it is costing you. And then you're going to basically have all of your costs, and then of course like have everything just summarized together, so that you can see what amount maybe monthly you're spending. And this is like a really important page to have. And honestly, I also need to like have a better like expenses list. But for example, right now, from this point of view, what I would like put on my Notion, what expenses am I having as a small business owner? What comes to mind right now is basically like the printer. So basically not the cost of the printer, because that was like one-time payment and it's okay. But definitely like every month, not every month, but a lot of like time I need to buy new ink, or maybe like definitely new papers. So papers that I love using, and what are they? Maybe some other supplies, scissors and stuff like that, maybe markers that you use. And if you're packaging, if you're shipping out like physically, then definitely supplies like that, like boxes or little envelopes. So that would be like all of the expenses that you basically have as a small business owner. But what is really important right now, also as well, not just like expenses list, is also a little better list, and that is like a wish list. So a wish list for small business is basically how, like, in what areas do you want to upgrade your small business. My wish list for a long time was the Canon printer, and now I have it, and also a Cricut machine, and now I have it. But I had it clearly on like my wish list, and that's why I could have like, I knew how much it cost me, I knew how much I had to like earn, how much I have to spare the money in order so that I would be able to have Cricut. And I was basically writing down every single thing that I want. I also want like a new camera, better like storage, definitely a better laptop, maybe a new iPad, you know, if we're throwing out stuff that we want. But yeah, I definitely also like have a wish list, because I want a lot of stuff and stuff that I need for a small business. And it's really nice to just know what you want, keep like track of those products. Again, I would definitely be even adding the links here, because it's going to, like, if you want to buy that right now, you're just going to click the link in Notion, and then you're going to have that product ready. So yeah, the wish list and expenses list is definitely something that you should add up to your Notion like right now. And of course, maybe like almost the most important list that I saved for last is basically to have a content calendar and a content planner, and also like a little, again, list or just a vault basically on Notion, where you would be keeping track of your ideas for the content, and generally basically ideas for your small business products. So basically, let me explain first why the content calendar is important, because you have to know like what platform. I mean, that is basically, I talked about this in previous episodes and I'm going to link it, but you have to know like what your business is all about, what you're all about, which social media platforms you're using, and also like what kind of products are you doing, digital or physical, stuff like that. And when you know this really important part, then you're just going to write down like what kind of content you're making and like how much. For example, YouTube videos are long, so they also take a long time. I would definitely be making like video once a week. That's just optimal for me. I wish I can do more, but it's not realistic. So you need to know like what you want to create, how much. So basically YouTube is like once a week. and then I would set up YouTube filming and like editing once a week, for example. And then if you're doing Instagram, I would actually suggest you to have like an Instagram content planner. And then if you're posting to Instagram like 2 to 3, maybe 5 times a week, then again, I would also just have ideas for each and every post up front, so that you can actually don't have to be stressed about it at all, and you can just really have this idea already. You can just maybe like edit that reel, make that reel, or a photo, just take a photo maybe of the product, stuff like that, post it, and that is going to keep you just out of stress, definitely, trust me. And again, for YouTube, just have idea, for example, for the title, like when you're going to be posting or making or editing or every single thing. If you want that structured, just make sure that you know that and that you actually schedule it. And also, like, if you're even more detailed, Notion can really help you scripting out your video. I also like scripted out some of my videos, and that was really helping me out. It was definitely keeping me less stressful because I knew what I wanted to say. It was very easy, and I was just, maybe if I filmed something and I wasn't like direct on the camera like right now, but maybe I was just doing a voiceover, and it was just so easy. I was having like Notion on my laptop because I'm editing from my iPad, and then I was just basically reading and having like a great voice and stuff like that. Everything was just so simple, so you can even go like really that far in like scripting the video. But if not, just make like a content calendar basically. I would suggest you to have like this ideas page, and it is actually a bit different from like content calendar page and planner, but it can definitely help you out. So basically, every time, like, I usually have ideas for my like small business products, or like drawing ideas, posting ideas, video ideas. I usually have those, like, not when I'm just sitting down and writing the ideas, but like when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm at work, when I'm driving to somewhere, when I'm at the shower, when I'm sleeping. Like, I have those ideas during the weird times. And then it's really helpful to have like a Notion map or a board or like a list page. And then every time you think of the idea when you're like sleeping and maybe you have your phone there, you can just, you know, remember that, set it on your phone, you have like Notion on the phone maybe, and just put it down there so that you can definitely check out that idea maybe when you're actually doing the content planner and content calendar, and then you have no idea what you're going to be posting, and then you go to like your ideas page and you just pick idea which is great for you at that moment. You're going to be having a lot of ideas, and I'm going to show you like my example of ideas for YouTube and Instagram and everything like that. And then you're just going to be having list of ideas that you created, that you think are amazing, that are specific to you. You're going to be again less stressed out, and it's going to be just all there and in one place at Notion. And also, when it comes to like the content planner, I'm going to show you, it's very simple, but I'm kind of proud that I learned this. So Notion has these databases, and you can create really cool but also like simple tables there. And then you have tables that is also having like a checklist or a date, and that is going to be so useful for your content planner, you're going to see. So let's just jump into the Notion, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Basically, this like database was for the YouTube for August, but we also have to make it for September. Anyways, so first is like a little checkbox. So basically, every time I finish that video, I check it off so that like I know that I finished it. Then we have the status, and I'm going to explain to you what that means. Then I added, like, first I was just having when I published it, but I also added like really important, like to have a date when you're going to be filming it, and then publishing, or like maybe even better word would be editing it, would be even better, or have like 3, as I was saying earlier, like have it for filming, editing, and then when it's going to be published. And then we have other video ideas, and this is basically like the same thing. So basically for that, you go to the next like empty space, and then you click that you want a database, and you actually go to the table view. Then you have like a new database, and that's basically it. And then you actually title it something like September Planner. And then you actually have, of course, you can create new tables down there easily. But for example, you have those properties, that's how they call them, the properties, and each property is like a type of what's going to be in the table. I'm going to show you. And then name, you basically just write down stuff. It's like, it's just alphabetically, like you just put the alphabet here. So basically you write down, for example, a fall haul, like the name of the video, I would say. Then tags, you can have different kind of databases. For example, if I don't want the tags, then you just go here and then you type that you don't want the tags. For example, you want to have a checkbox, and then you create like this checkbox. And also you can in each like one, I think you can even add. And then I would be basically adding this here up front so that I can check off whatever I'm having. And then basically every single time you want something different, you go like here to basically the properties. And then I love to have the date view, and then it's not giving you to write down anything. It just gives you basically the date, and even you can include time. You can even have comments here. So it's very like simple, but also very practical. And maybe other dates, as I said, and status. If you want some kind of status, it's really nice to put here, for example, what is finished, what is not finished in a video kind of way. Then you basically add status here, and then they name it to do. But okay, and then for example, not started, you can change the colors, you can change, for example, the text. Okay, I would still have not started. And so every single time you have something different, you just add, like this one is in progress, this one is not started, this one is already done, for example. And that is basically it, all about the databases. And this is basically it for this video, guys. I really hope that you liked this episode, that you learned a lot. And if you're starting Notion, just follow those simple steps and you're going to be just fine. And if you're going to follow those steps, please write to me in the comments, because I would love to know if you're using this and if this video was helpful to you. If you have any suggestions, or as I said earlier, if you would want me to cover Notion like through and through, just everything about it, then please let me know and I will definitely do that kind of video, or anything like other stuff about Notion, whatever, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, we're just going to see each other like in another episode, and I'm just in the next video, everything is going to be definitely fall related, so stay tuned for that. And I hope you liked it, and yeah, we're gonna see each other very soon. Bye.